What's up, y'all? I'm Hustle Mo, and this is the weekly anime wrap up. Tap in. First, let's go over the list that I watched this season. And that's this list that you're looking at right here. Let's go over it first. First, we have reincarnated as an aristocrat. Then you have jobless reincarnation, demon slayer. That time I was reincarnated as slime. I said that wrong. I know I did. Uh, Wise Wolf, Spice and Wolf, Dungeon Meshi, Viral Hit, Windbreaker, Monster, and Seventh Prince. That's what I'm calling that. But if you look at those, you can see I have them in order from my favorite to the worst. Let's start from the bottom of the list. Uh, the Seventh Prince wasn't the best anime for me, and just because the undertones of the little boy with booty shorts and the girl who's naked have to do their powers. The story and the fighting were okay. The fighting probably the best part of it, but the story wasn't super great, and for me, it just wasn't the best. So yeah, Seventh Prince is at the bottom of that list for me. Coming up next is Monster. Monster is something I thought would be great. I thought it was like, because I'm really into the isekais. They got a lot of them. It's like 5 of them on the list right now, as you can see. But I thought Monster was going to be great, better for me, but it wasn't. It got kind of repetitive. So initially, it was cool. It's like, okay, he started off as a little goblin. And he was like, oh shit, you got to live his whole life looking like an ugly goblin. But he quickly transformed or evolved and kept evolving, and everyone else kept evolving, and he kept eating and learning, and all of those little isekais, the guys are supposed to be overpowered once they come into this new place. They start off as some weak nobody and then they're overpowered. But this one, I got repetitive and it seemed like it was too overpowering and I didn't really like it that much. Let's move up again to Windbreaker. Windbreaker wasn't bad. Windbreaker's down here lower than the list just because it wasn't better than the rest. And also, I don't see much of a future with Windbreaker. Like I see, the main character and then the environment he's in is like he got like they're Power Rangers or some shit of the town and they protect the town. So what? Every new arc they're gonna find some new gang that they gotta protect the town from. I think that shit'll get old fast, and I just don't see the future of it. But for this first season, it was pretty decent. All right, next up we got Windbreaker. Windbreaker is also a first season new anime. It was decent too, but for the same reasons, I don't see a future with it. Cause I mean, the idea was cool. Like you using what's happening now with the internet and the guy trying to go viral for fighting. So every week he's gonna find a new guy to fight, and it's gonna get old. I think just the same as Windbreaker, but it was decent. And these are just the ones I watched though. So, but it was decent. Next was Dungeon Meshi. Dungeon Meshi was interesting. It was interesting. Like it wasn't much of a shonen type of anime, and that's cool. I'm kind of into the slice of life and regular just living animes. I'm kind of into those lately. And Dungeon Meshi was more interesting from the idea of it and all the new things you can do with this dungeon and eating certain foods and stuff like that. It was interesting, but it was just okay. And next was the Spice and Wolf. Spice and Wolf was one of my favorites of this season. Just because it's different and that's kind of what I'm into. This was in no way a shonen anime. This was completely, I don't know what the type of it is, but it was basically about just a merchant who met a spiritual wolf and they traveled just selling stuff and getting into trouble as they selling stuff and trying to get out of it and trying to make money. I think it's interesting. I think it has potential to go on a little while, maybe one more season, but it was interesting and I liked it. Now we're gonna get into the big dogs. Obviously, that time I reincarnated as a slime. There was more political this season. It wasn't as much of what it's known for, which is Rimuru kind of learning stuff and then fighting, and he became big as he can be. Mostly, like he became a demon lord and got his own nation. He's almost as big as he can be, but obviously he's got some more stuff coming next season. But it was more political, and the fights weren't anything. Like those seven clergy niggas, they were trash and they got wiped. Hinata, I guess it was semi-interesting fight, but she got wiped. Uh, wasn't super interesting this season. But let's go to the next one. Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer was just like it was like a filler until the last episode. Like Demon Slayer was just a training arc and building up to the final episode where they finally met Michael Jackson and MJ was trying to tell old boy to beat it, but old boy told him to beat it and try to blow his whole face off. And then we saw, Stone Hashira get a little bit busy. We seen all the Hashiras make it. We know the Wind Hashira, he's like itching for a fight. Wind Hashira said he never seen any like top class demons, so he ready to get Michael Jackson and make him do the moonwalk. But we're gonna see. Like they fell into the little house of Infinity House, what they call it. And that fight on top of the cinema that Demon Slayer is known for is gonna be like crazy. Like how like rooms flipping and switching and fighting and who you fighting is switching. I think it's gonna be a crazy animation whenever that comes out. So Demon Slayer is up there, not because this season, like this season was kind of boring, but what's to come and it's overall just known for what Demon Slayer is known for, it's up there. And then we have my second favorite, which is Jobless Reincarnation. Jobless Reincarnation. And the first one, they could go either way. Jobless Reincarnation has always been a good one. But it wasn't, it was, all of these animes were kind of political this year. Like Jobless Reincarnation wasn't like hype with the fight. I mean, that last fight was okay. But what happened during the fight, it was the aftermath, which made Jobless crazy this season. We obviously we lost Big Paul Grey Rat. Fucking brutal too. Like got his whole shit in half. Brutal. Had to wake Rudy up somehow, and he woke up to the guy he thought wasn't even his daddy, or he didn't think of as his daddy. When he died, he realized, man, I may be a grown man from a previous life, but yeah, Paul was a good dude and he gonna miss him. Then fucking mom went crazy, not crazy, but she lost her memories, and then but some good things happened. He had his baby. He met up with Roxy, and now he's got two wives, Roxy and Sylphie. But we know there's one more out there. The redhead chick. I forgot her name. I know it's on the tip of my tongue, but the red hair chick is out there, and that was his first. So she's gonna pop back up next season probably. And then he's gonna end up with a third wife. I already see that coming. Also, I see him having like a metal hand or a stone or wood hand because he lost his arm in the fight, his hand in the fight. He's gonna make that loss something stronger than what it was, because for sure he's gonna create something for that. And then my favorite anime of this season, Reincarnated as Aristocrat, and I'm gonna use my ability to blah blah blah, too many fucking words. But Reincarnated was a new anime, I think, right? It was no seasons before this. It was great. I love it. I love this type of anime where he's not really doing much. He's just finding attendees or people to help him. He has a little like video game power where he can see everybody's stats. Like if he used the damn potion, one of those little magic things, and he can see all of the stats or of the people that he's fighting for, fighting with, fighting against. And he's using that to become like the emperor probably eventually, because they hinted at it already that he's good enough or could probably become the emperor. I think it's going to be very interesting to see him and his ability and what he's good at and how he turns out as a full-grown adult. But yeah, those are my picks for the season. And next season is here already, so I don't know what I'm watching this season. Like, obviously this week already passed and there's some new episodes, episode ones out here, but I don't know which ones are good. If there's anything that is a repeat season or like a season 2, then I'll be watching those for sure. But it's gonna be like the newest shit. We're gonna have to see what we're watching this season. And if you guys are watching anything already new this season, I'm gonna be watching those, and we're gonna keep this up every week and get together and talk about these animes. So I'll talk to you guys next week. Hopefully you show up. Peace.